Hello and welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint Show. I am your host, Jay Jones. Black Entrepreneur Blueprint was created specifically to educate and inspire Black entrepreneurs to launch, build, and grow successful businesses. Join us as we help build an economic power base in the Black community by promoting business ownership. If you are currently an entrepreneur or want to be an entrepreneur, we invite you to join us every week here at Black Entrepreneur Blueprint.
Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, episode number 187. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and today we have another outstanding show for you. Today we're going to be doing a rebroadcast of one of our most popular and downloaded episodes with Professor Griff from the legendary group Public Enemy. But before we get into today's show, I just want to say two things. Number one, congratulations to my hometown, Philadelphia Eagles, for finally bringing that Super Bowl trophy back home. It's a long time coming, but it was well worth it. Also, I'm putting out additional content on YouTube all the time, guys. So please go to my YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and hit Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. I'm putting out videos and additional content that are not here on the podcast. Trying to build up that YouTube subscriber list because we're going to be doing a lot more video coming up in the near future. So hold tight and check out this powerful interview with Professor Griff from Public Enemy. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and today we have straight fire for the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint family. Today I'm going to be interviewing Rock and Roll Hall of Fame artist, founding member of Public Enemy, Professor Griff, the Minister of Information. Professor Griff is a recording artist, a spoken word artist, and a lecturer, in addition to becoming a Hall of Fame recording artist with Public Enemy. Straight fire, guys. Hold tight for my interview with Professor Griff. I am on the line with the world famous recording artist, spoken word artist, lecturer, Public Enemy member, Professor Griff. Professor Griff, how are you today, my brother?
I'm all right, trying to be like you. Trying to be like you. as Damon from the Shark Tank says, rise and grind.
That's it. That's every day, every day. Well, for the few people who don't know who Professor Griff is, just tell us a bit about who you are and where you're from.
Woo! When I'm asked that question, often I give a real deep, metaphysical, esoteric answer. But simply put, I guess I'll mix the two. I am my father's son, and I am my son's father. That's on a cosmology level. On a regular old street level, I'm from Roosevelt, Long Island, New York, man.
Strong
I'm
Island.
The seventh son. I'm the seventh son in a family of 13, and I'm the 12th child. But who am I? If I was asked that question and that this is going to be my last interview and my last word, I would have to say I'm God having a human experience called Griff. But I'm a businessman. I'm somebody's dad. I'm somebody's granddad. I'm your brother. And as we say in the revolutionary circles, I am because we are, therefore I am.
Everybody knows you from Public Enemy initially. Now you're on the lecture circuit. But how'd you get started in the music industry?
Well, quite the contrary.
Okay.
People know me, this younger generation that might be listening to this, don't even know that I'm from Public Enemy.
That's true.
Don't know that I was one of the ones that established the group. You understand what I'm saying? They probably know me, the guy on YouTube that be talking about the Illuminati. That's how young people know me. They don't know the other history. But I always tell people to answer that question directly. I always tell people that the music industry chose me. I didn't choose it. I was already a percussionist. I was already a drummer, playing in bands and doing that thing in the 70s, You understand what I'm saying? Before I even graduated high school, I was already a DJ, already doing these things, and never pursued a recording contract. It was Chuck D that got the contract, and he invited Flav, and them two signed as Public Enemy, and then myself terminated the S1W's Bomb Squad, and everybody kind of formed this entity that people know as Public Enemy. You understand what I'm saying? But we took on roles that were unheard of in the music industry. Who's ever heard of a minister of information in the music industry?
Exactly.
And that was my role. I was the leader of not a dance group, but a paramilitary group called the S1W. And these things are unheard of, and we were charting out different territory, and we were charting and kind of breaking the ground for new paths in the music industry. Because we were tired of the same old coming on stage with two dancers and all that other guys. We broke all that up. No disrespect to anyone that did have two dancers, Heavy D and the Boys, Big Daddy Kane, EPMD, and some other people had dancers. But hey,
you guys,
beautiful thing.
Groundbreaking. That's why I always loved and respected the music and the message, most importantly.
Right.
So,
right.
Professor, I have a lot of my listeners that have reached out to me that were interested in having you on because you're out there now on the lecture circuit and you're talking about a lot of different things. And one of the things I wanted to talk to you about was the entertainment industry. I have a specific question for you about 360 deals versus being independent. What do you think is best, and what's your breakdown or your look on that?
360 deals in a nutshell, you still a slave. 360 deal is a ball and chain on your ankle. 360 deal is having someone write a check for you. Independent, you write your own check. You sign a 360 deal, and I often give this example. Maybe you can do it as we speak. Grab a pen and a piece of paper, draw a circle on the paper.
Okay.
Draw a cross through it from one end of the circle to the other.
Okay.
Turn the paper sideways and draw another cross, so you end up with 8 pieces of the pie. Okay? And maybe the people that's listening to this can do this also. Fill in 8 pieces of the pie on how you get paid in the music industry. Start from piece of the pie number 1 would be what?
Well, now you don't even sell records now. I guess your downloads maybe?
All right, so digital download, which would equate to record sales.
Right.
All right, next.
Touring.
Live performances.
Yep.
Touring, yes.
Okay.
Next.
You got me after this, Professor. Hey, Professor, I'm failing right now. I need your help.
Well, guess what? The people that are listening, if they're doing this, they're probably writing and filling in the different. We forgot licensing. If McDonald's wants to use your song in their commercial, they got to pay you. The Chevrolet car company want to use your song, they got to pay you. If they want you to appear in the commercial, they got to pay you. They might want to even endorse you to endorse their product. You understand what I'm saying? So licensing, endorsing, and the main one that we're not going to go over all of them, but the main one we forgot is publishing.
Right.
You have to own your own publishing, meaning you have to know how to establish a publishing company. With a 360 deal, you ain't got to worry about none of that. They got it. They'll take care of all of it for you. But they're getting their piece of the pie until the time you die. And they may even have a clause in the contract that after you're dead, they get a piece of that, i.e. Tupac film. Tupac's been dead for a minute, and they still making money from Tupac, still making money from Michael Jackson, still making money from James Brown, still making money from Whitney Houston, right now as we speak.
Now, what do you think causes artists to sign those deals? Is it a big upfront payout a lot of times, or what causes that? To give up control?
Lazy and being ignorant. Let's look at The Weeknd. You know the artist The Weeknd?
Yeah.
Smart, intelligent, handsome, talented brother. He was giving his music away free for a few years in order to build a database. Mm-hmm. Once he built his database and he served his audience and his fans, he was able to sign a $94 million contract. $94 million. Go look at the cover of Forbes magazine right now. He's on the cover. $94 million, I think. Where did he get the $94 million? 80-something live performances across the globe, almost to the tune of $750,000 per performance. Why? because he built up an audience first. He built up a fan base first, and he serviced his fan base. Brilliant model, brilliant business model.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense there. And I guess sometimes, like you said, ignorance meaning not knowing. Sometimes maybe artists don't want to take the time to build it up, I guess, or they just don't know how to do it. I don't know, but that's I've been hearing.
Well, we do know. We can't put that out there like that. I mean,
okay.
Interrupt you.
Okay.
We can't keep saying we don't know.
Okay.
This is 2017. We got the internet at our fingertips. We have access to people like Professor Griff that do know. We have to start saying, yes, we know, and we're going to pass it down to young people.
Okay.
Young people are on the internet more than we think, so they know how it works. For example, Facebook. Facebook ain't nothing but a daggone website that brought people together. The advertisers saw that, and now they got 1 billion people on Facebook, and the advertisers are giving them over in excess of $1 billion.
Yeah,
you
right.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, you are right.
All it is a website. People talking, communicating with one another. Uber don't own no daggone taxis, but they're the largest taxi company on the planet. Why? Because they have a solid business model. They brought Jay Quellen together with Aaron. Aaron got a car. He drive by Jay Quellen every day on the bus stop. Uber said, well, why don't we just have Aaron pick up Jay Quellen?
Right.
And give him a job. You understand what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Drop her off, for cheaper than a taxi would do it, and the wait is less. Business, a beautiful business model. Last but not least, what's the name of the people where you can go online and order to go stay in their house?
Oh, Airbnb? Yeah.
There's a lot of empty houses, rental houses probably laying around that they can't sell them right now. So I tell you what, we just rent them out for the weekend. Or Airbnb is a website that connects people that need a place to stay for the weekend and the people that have the place to stay for the weekend.
Connecting.
Smart business model.
Definitely.
Connecting people.
That's it.
So I took those business models and I developed Like Mine. Like Mine is a dating site, but not only a dating site, it's a place where people can come and connect on a business level, on a dating level. You understand? Or if you just want to figure out what's going on around the globe as far as the events that we like to go to.
Right.
I developed a calendar where you can go, click Florida, click where you go, Miami, click Miami, where you going to be staying, Fort Lauderdale, click Fort Lauderdale, and you see what's going on in a 10 to 25 mile radius.
That's powerful, brother. That's what's up. Yeah.
Like mine.
Let me ask you real quick, Professor, in reference to any advice for new artists that are trying to get into the industry. What type of advice would you give to new artists right now?
I would say accept your own and be yourself. I would say follow a solid business model. I would say service your fan base. I would say develop your own sound. The reason why the artists are losing today, and this is no disrespect to the artists that are out there doing it, all of them sound alike. When I was coming up, Earth, Wind & Fire didn't sound like Gladys Knight in the Pit, or Lakeside, or you understand what I'm saying, or the Commodores, or you follow what I'm saying? All of the artists sound alike, and these songs, you can just swap out the names of the artists and the song and the whatever.
Right.
Know that fads fade out. Who was the dude that came up with the Superman dance?
Oh, I know you're talking about. I can see him right
now. Can't
now.
remember his name.
Yeah.
Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy, there you go.
Once the dance faded out, he faded out. You understand what I'm saying?
So you need that staying power.
And exactly. You have to have shelf. I had a conversation with Prince. He called it shelf life. He said these songs nowadays are disposable bubblegum songs. That once you chew the flavor out of the bubblegum and spit it out, hope that it don't get stuck to the bottom of your shoe. Right now, I can give you another taste test. What's today's date?
14th, August 14th.
August 14th last year, what was the number one song out?
I couldn't tell you.
Exactly right. That's precisely my point. You can't tell me.
Couldn't tell you.
They don't have staying power. And we have to understand that particular dynamic. Right now, you could put on a Frankie Beverly and Mays song, Earth, Wind & Fire, and we know when those songs came out.
Exactly.
We resonate with them.
I just saw Frankie Beverly a couple months ago in Atlantic City. He's still doing it.
See what I mean?
Definitely.
So these songs nowadays, we can remember from 1 year to the next.
Exactly. You're right about that. I talk to my daughters about, I'm like, there are artists out there with tremendous talent, but I'm like, some of these guys, I'm like, how did they get deals? I'm like,
but what kind of deal do they have? Every deal ain't a good deal.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. Well, speaking of every deal isn't a good deal, how do you find, if you're a new artist, how do you find good representation? Is there, it's a landscape that people new to the industry trying to get in, they want to make sure they get good representation. What would you advise them?
You know, I would get management. And management might know a marketing and PR firm. Marketing and PR firm may know a good entertainment lawyer. I'm saying that not to belittle people, not to speak down to people, but people think a lawyer is a lawyer. No. That's like saying call the doctor.
Right.
There's different doctors that specialize in different things.
Exactly.
A doctor that deals with neurological kind of issues may not come fix your knee or a broken ankle.
Right.
So, no, you need an entertainment lawyer that has experience in entertainment law.
Okay.
Those are the big things. Lawyer, manager, and a PR firm. The manager will hook you up with an agency to help you manage your money.
Okay.
Managers don't move you from your house to the gig and back. You need a manager that knows what he's doing. Not your homeboy, not your old auntie, not your drunk Uncle Leroy. No.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
The managers normally give a 20%.
Okay.
Fee or management fee. So yeah.
Now let me ask you, Professor. What are some of the pitfalls? I know we kind of went over a few of them, but what are some of the pitfalls that of the industry and how to avoid them? You know, for new and aspiring artists.
Well, that's a loaded question, brother, because the music industry is not the same. We're not selling CDs. We're not selling DVDs out the trunk in front of the strip club. You understand what I'm saying? That's a thing of the past. Some cats had to do that. They don't need to do that now. It even got worse. It got critical to the point where people start giving their music away. We're not at that phase. We're past that phase of it. People are digitally downloading music to their devices. So now the communication companies have become the record labels. AT&T, T-Mobile. Because if you ain't got a decent enough phone, you ain't hearing nobody's music.
That's right.
You got to have a place where you're listening to it at and from. So the Spotify, the Pandoras, these kind of people, Tidal, have streaming services that you have to have a credit card in order to belong to. Everything is digitized now. So pitfall to avoid, shiesty people in the music industry that want to take your money to play your song on the radio. Shiesty people that want to take your money to get it played in heavy rotation at the club. Shiesty people that want to guarantee you a certain amount of dates on certain tour. Still got shiesty people out there.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense, man. Now, you had mentioned, Professor, about businesses and one of your business, like minds, like mine, right? So, black entrepreneurship. Now, how did you learn to become a successful entrepreneur?
I learned it the hard way, and I wouldn't advise anybody to learn it the way I learned it. I learned it firsthand. Getting beat out of money on a street level, getting beat out of being ignorant to the music industry, having people that I trusted that looked like me take me for a ride on the management tip, on the record label tip. So I wouldn't advise anyone to do that. Nowadays, there are people like Professor Griff giving these kind of lessons online for $55.
Right.
Come take the class and sign up for the Music 101 class.
Cool.
The Music Industry 101 class. You understand what I'm saying?
You've been there, done that.
Yeah, of course. I've gotten taken for the ride.
Cool. And now, what are some of the strategies or tactics that you've used to become a successful entrepreneur? And I know it's a big difference between when you first came out and obviously today's new world and new world economy and technology. But what are some of the tactics or strategies that you found to help you become a successful entrepreneur?
To be honest with you, and a lot of people may not believe me, but I've actually listened to the Damians that are on Shark Tank. I actually listened to a brother by the name of Kashif. I'm not sure if you remember the artist Kashif.
Yeah, I remember Kashif, yeah.
Right, Kashif passed on. He passed away, but he left us a body of work that we need to study. I actually listen to people like Prince interviews on YouTube. I actually listen to the 48 Laws of Power, the 12 laws, universal laws of success. I actually listen to those small little programs on YouTube, and I've actually applied the techniques. I just applied it to the music industry. Some cats apply it to the street game.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Well, I actually listened to the Master P's of the world. Master P had a solid business model. I actually studied people that have failed, the MC Hammers. Not to say that he's a failure, but that business model failed. I actually studied MC Hammer. I actually studied NWA, Eazy-E, and some other people. So I have a lot of examples in front of me. All right, not to be a 57-year-old recording artist now, still recording and making music, still doing shows to make them same mistakes.
That's that know-how from experience.
Now, but I've humbled myself in order to listen and take advice from the people that came in front of me.
Because, there's always somebody that's a couple of steps ahead of you, and you're right, you're able to take that know-how that they have and apply it to yourself. Now, Professor, what I mean, I know you're in a couple of different things here, but one of the things that I see you a lot out, I see you doing like speaking engagements and book tours. I know you come to Philly sometimes. How did you grow your media business, so to speak? How did that grow?
Well, to be honest with you, and I'll be very quick and very frank and upfront, I was the worst one in school. And I know a lot of young people listening to this like, oh, man, for real? How'd you get the name Professor? I got the name Professor because I barely got graduated. Okay. I failed ninth grade math. I failed English. I failed in these things in high school. So when I graduated high school, practically knowing nothing, I was like, wow. I said, I better step this up if I'm going to survive in these streets.
Right.
And that year after, right after in high school, graduating year, 12th grade, and that year after high school, shortly before that, they were nicknaming me Professor because I didn't like school.
Okay.
But I like studying, I like research, and I like the information that I was discovering for myself. So what I decided to do was give them that little stuff that they need back. I regurgitated it back to them. I got a passing grade. I got the hell out of school. You understand what I'm saying? Because I knew they were lying to me and deceiving me in school. So I went and got my degree online.
There you go.
I have a Bachelor of Science degree in education. And I acquired the name Professor simply because I'm a very studious person. I grew my library to 1,000 books and read most of them.
That's proud.
Simply because I studied on my own and I got a degree of knowledge of self. And I grew my business that way. And I looked within inside myself and I said, wow, I know this stuff. Why don't I just put it in a book? So my first book came about the Atlanta music biz, and I started educating young cats about the music industry. My second book is analytics. All right? And I started going into the life story of Professor Griff via my interviews with people like this, and I put it in a book form. My third book, The Acapella Revolution, where I was a good songwriter, especially writing the Public Enemy songs. I took those songs and put them in a book, and I broke it down and showed people how I wrote songs, and I gave them my formulas. And then I put together an audio book, keeping up with technology, called The Warrior Tapestry. I put an audio book out because from my interviews and stuff that I was doing on YouTube. And then I went on to do a comic book because if you know me, people say, you know something, he's serious, but that's a funny dude. I got a vivid imagination. So I hooked up with some illustrators, and I created a comic book called Who Stole the Soul. Then, shortly before that, I was privy to some information about the demonic forces going on in the music industry called the Illuminati. And I put that in a book form called The Psychological Covert War on Hip-Hop, Book 1 and Book 2. And I noticed a lot of signs and symbols that were around me. I just put it in a book called Symbology, which is my last book. Also, I became a publisher and an author.
There you go. And so I guess from your books and all of that, because it's funny, a lot of times I tell people when Oprah had her show, the only way you could seem to get on her show was either to be an entertainer, an athlete, or be a published author and have your book. So I'm sure your book opened the way for you for a lot of more speaking engagements. Is that the case?
No, that's incorrect.
Whoa,
That actually backfired on me.
Are you serious?
But because of what I was talking about, no one wanted to invite me.
Gotcha.
No one wanted to hear the truth. So guess what I did? I developed another business. I booked myself.
There you go. You're a booking agent now.
Exactly. So what I do is I identify the bookstore or the people in a certain city, and I just do a business deal with them. They got the place. I got the information.
Right.
So we just do a business deal. I fly myself into town, set up at the bookstore or the different venues that we can get, and I kind of do it myself. They don't invite me to the college campus because I tell the truth. And they're not telling the truth on a college campuses.
See,
they're not talking about the intricacies of what I talk about in my books or what I talk about on YouTube. So I'm not invited.
Wow.
I'm on the white list. I'm whitelisted.
Exactly. Now I want the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint family to take a listen to what Professor Griff just said. He had to pivot, and what he did, he didn't quit. He decided to go and start booking himself. You know, and that's important as an entrepreneur. If things aren't going right, which that's inevitably is going to happen as an entrepreneur, you're going to have bumps and turns in the road. But you didn't stop. You found a way to make it work for you, and you started booking yourself, man.
Yeah. You know how many doors were slammed in my face on the college campus? You know how many college campuses I was thrown in from? You know how many times they paid me a deposit to come, but once they figured out who I am, they said, no, you can't speak. Keep the deposit. I was like, wow.
They really don't want you in, huh?
That didn't stop me. They paid me between $5,000 and $8,000 to speak on a campus. So I'd rather give that up to take $1,000 to go speak in the community.
Exactly.
So I just said to myself, if I speak twice a month in the community in different places around North America, that's $2,000 a month. That will take care of my bills. Everything else is crazy.
Straight gravy. There you go.
That's how you have to do it. But, of course, I got other avenues or revenue streams coming in because I got passive income coming in from my books and from other things I do.
Cool. That makes a lot of sense. So, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint family, hey, he's laying down the blueprint for you guys. Multiple streams of income. If you didn't catch that, multiple streams of income. And I talk about it all the time. Don't have one stream of income and that gets cut off and then you're done. You're finished.
Well, if I got to rely on one stream of income coming in, nah, y'all probably see me working at the airport or something. No. I helped my family set up 2 businesses, 2 bonding companies downtown Atlanta.
Cool.
I own 2 publishing companies, Heirs to the Shah, and now Professor Griff Corp. I own my own name, Professor Griff. I got it trademarked, so I own it. That will open me up to set up a merchandise line. You understand what I'm saying?
Definitely.
I got songs in 4 different movies that people don't even know. You understand what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Yeah, so I got 4 irons in the fire right now. I belong to a group called Spectrum, which is myself, KG from the Bomb Squad, and my soon-to-be wife, Soleil.
Congratulations.
Give thanks. And plus, I'm producing songs for her as a producer, a music producer. I can actually go in my studio right now and produce songs and make songs because I'm a producer. I'm getting into songs that I've done in the past, and people still call me to come write, perform, and produce. So, yeah.
That's what's up. Now, do you have any plans? You know, there's been a lot of biopics out there recently, NWA, Tupac. Any plans for Public Enemy biopic or Professor Griff biopic?
Well, that's a collective effort to Fight the Power, the Public Enemy biopic that's coming out in a movie in a theater near you. That's probably a few years away, but that's something I'd like to see. And even with that, for them to use my likeness and my name and my image, that's well in excess of $20 to $25 million.
Right.
That they'd have to pay me.
I'd be the first one at that movie, man, because I'm telling you, I respect what you guys
do.
Give
thanks, man. So let me just say this real quick. Young people that are listening to me, y'all need to have 3 major goals right now for 2018. They say, but Brother Griff, we in 2017. I know. This is August of 2017, so by the time August of 2018 roll around, I would have already had a short documentary film out, my next comic book, an album, Soleil's album, my band's album, and the album we're doing together the spectrum. That's 6 projects. That's 2018, August of 2018. So I need young people to write down 3 minor goals and 3 major goals for 2018. And wake up every morning and create a mantra. Create a mission statement for yourself. Mine for the rest of this year, I borrowed Damien's from the Shark Tank, the brother on the Shark Tank, rise and grind.
Rise and grind.
Rise and grind. Rise and get on your grind.
Yeah, and that's powerful. And see, one of the things, my show that dropped today had a little bit about the things going on, the rally that we had this past weekend in Charlottesville. But one of the things is it's about being able to control resources. And I tell people all the time, when you don't control the resources, you don't control anything. So it's about creating our own, the creativity, the mind power that we have as people. And a lot of times we use all of our power to enrich somebody else instead of enriching our own selves and our families and building a legacy and building generational wealth. When white folk came over, they get free land and free labor. You don't have to be a genius to make money and build generational wealth. You know, I'm like, this is crazy. So we got to start using our power, our resources to generate wealth for ourselves as opposed to, the corporate plantation. Speaking of that, Professor, I wanted to talk a little bit about economic power real quick. And I wanted to ask you, since you're in the media, how do you think the media influences the perceptions of black folk, and what can we do to kind of control our own narrative?
Well, they create the narrative by creating the perception. Most of how we view ourselves is the way they portray us.
Right.
So the media, MEDIA, stands for multi-ethnic destruction in America, or many European devils in action. I'm just saying to you, I am responsible for my own self-image. So when you see me, all right, you won't see me, well, in some cases, you won't see me representing my brand in a negative way. You won't see people smoking, doing drugs, drinking. That's not associated with my brand. So you don't see that at AT&T when you go pay your phone bill. When you go pay your cell phone bill at T-Mobile, you don't see that going on up in there. It's clean, it's neat, it's orderly. The people speak to you. They're uniformed. They're groomed. You understand what I'm saying? That's the way I treat my brand, Professor Griff.
So you got to respect your brand.
So the media is important. Exactly. So I chose a logo. I chose the colors of the logo. I chose the design of my logo. I chose where my logo is represented and how it's represented. So when you see Serious Minds, SIRIUS, Minds, MINDZ, when you see Serious Minds, that's my brand. So I do Serious Minds Radio, Serious Minds TV. I do Serious Minds RN TV, which is our radio and TV. I do Serious Minds Institute, where I teach my online classes. So wherever my brand is represented, it's clean, it's positive, it's healthy, it's uplifting, it's bright, it's attractive, and that's my brand. Media is important. I control how my brand is used.
That's right.
My logo is used. My mantra is used. You understand what I'm saying?
Definitely. And in today's technology, I'm real big on this. I said the internet is wide open. And I said so we can control our own media. We don't have to be beholden to the white-owned radio stations, white-owned TV. So we can. I mean, this is great. This is a great time to be alive. If you're a mediapreneur, if you want to create your own website like this podcast, YouTube channel, video, downloading, streaming. We got to start using this technology for our benefit. You know what I mean? So this is no joke. Now, Professor, I got a couple more questions. I really appreciate you being here.
Okay, give that.
Yes, sir. In terms of black economic power, and my audience knows this, but I just want to hear your thoughts on it. How important is it for us to create our own businesses? I know you're going to lay it down.
I mean, it's a matter of life and death. Simply because if you roll your mind back to the point where your mom had a job, just over broke.
Yep.
She had a job, and she retired from that job, and they paid her a pension, just enough for her to live, but she still probably had to have a job, part-time job in order to survive in America.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with inflation, with the rising cost of everything, especially food, especially housing, it's imperative that even if you have a job, you begin, if you haven't already, to begin to create a business and a job for yourself. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? And that's a matter of life and death, man. I mean, my mom had 3 jobs. My mom was a registered nurse. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But my mom did private practice. And my mom had, she had 2 full-time jobs and private practice. You could take anything that you know now and privatize it. You understand what I'm saying?
That's right.
So, like, for example, some of the recording artists. Let me pick a good one. Babyface. Babyface was in a group called The Deal. But Babyface wrote songs that you and I, younger people may not know. You remember the song Roses Are Red?
Yeah.
By the Campbell Brothers, the Mac Band?
Yep.
That's a song that Babyface wrote. You remember the group The Whispers?
Oh, yeah. Scotty and Walter.
Babyface wrote some of those songs. You understand what I'm saying? To the point where he had developed a catalog of songs that he had written from Boys to Men, to Shanice, to a lot of groups. He was a singer-songwriter that owned his own publishing.
That's powerful.
You understand? So he developed a business. He became his business.
Yeah.
His own brand. But he owned a company called Love Face Records.
That's right.
TLC was on his label. So,
yeah.
It's important, very imperative that you own your own business. I'm my own boss. You understand what I'm saying? No one tells me when to wake up, when to go to bed, what to wear, when to come, how to come. That's slavery to me.
That's it. You
understand what I'm saying?
You hit it on the head, brother. Most definitely. It's funny because the same talents and skills. So if you work in corporate America, you have a skill set that people are willing to pay for. So I always tell people, I said, if you're valuable and have that type of skill set, why don't you try to use it for yourself as opposed to using it for somebody else? You're marketable because somebody is paying you already. Take that talent you have and try to develop your own business around that talent or whatever assets that you have and use it for yourself. Because I'm telling you.
But you know what's missing?
What's
the
that?
Business 101 class is missing.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to give to young people in reference to business. I want to do the Music Business 101 class. You understand what I'm saying? And that's just real. So I did exactly what you said. I've taken my music industry know-how and knowledge, and I hooked up with a tech company, a group of people called Millennium Media Music out of Brooklyn. I hooked up with them, and we've actually put together a company called Millennium. And what the company's actually going to do is make entrepreneurs out of the average artist. Because listening to some of these young people today, they got talent. They just need the educational component. Exactly. And they need a place in which to thrive. And that is the environment that we're going to create at Millennium. So we hooked up with a bank. The bank is actually going to assign debit cards to each artist. We call them artistpreneurs, right? And so once these artistpreneurs sign on with us, they're going to download our software, and that will give them access to the world. They upload their songs through our aggregation tool, and we send their songs out globally. And once people buy their songs, we collect their money for them, and we download their money right on their debit card.
That's what's up. That's powerful, brother. You got your hand in a lot of things, man, which is great because we need brothers and sisters like you out here with the know-how, teaching us how to get more, you know, maximize what we have. You know what I mean? So I commend you on all of that. And Professor, I got one last question before we let you close out. When we close out, I'm going to let you, because you got all kinds of stuff going on, and a lot of the listeners may not have been able to catch everything. So after this last question, I'm going to let you promote whatever the heck you're doing, brother, because you're doing a lot.
Okay.
All right. But the last question I ask everybody on the show, if you could have a conversation with one person, living or dead, who would it be and why?
I would have a conversation with God, and that God is not something spooky in the sky somewhere. The reason why I would have the conversation with God, I would want God to tell me and give me direct instructions on what God deposited in me because all of us have gifts. And I want to be able to tap into the depth of those gifts that the Creator has deposited in me. And when I pull those things out, I want to share those things with the world.
My man, that's powerful.
That's it, in a nutshell. So one of the gifts that the Creator, regardless of what you call God, has deposited in me, I hooked up with a brother. Now, mind you, all my businesses that I mentioned, other than Professor Griff and Serious Minds, is businesses that I connected with other people. So I'm not solely doing it by myself. That's why I created Like Mind, Like Mine. You have now become part of my business. I'm doing an interview with you.
Right.
We're intricately involved with one another now on a business level. So in my travels and in my talking, in my doing interviews, I've attracted a brother that has a company called Ashe Bottled Water. He wants me to join on forces with him to sell bottled water. Healthy bottled water that's at the pH level of 7.8. Spring water. Everyone needs water. So I'm hooking up with this brother from the Ashe Bottled Water Company to sell bottled water. That's going to be the next thing coming from 2018 and beyond. Everyone needs water.
Definitely. Well, Professor, you got a lot going on, my brother. Before we close out, can you just tell people how they can connect with you? And, you know, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, this family right here, we always support all of our guests on the show. So, Professor, lay it down for us. How can we connect with you? Your websites for your businesses, things, so we can support what you're doing, my brother.
If people want to lend support on the donation level, they can go to my website, www.professorgriff.me, and click the donate button. If you want to do business, you want to invite me to come speak, or you want to participate in my online classes, go to that same website. Just click the necessary link, and it'll roll you over to where you can register for classes. I got 2 classes coming up, one in August and one in September, and then the music class coming up in October. If you just want to link on some music stuff and make it happen, just give me a call at 678-557-2919. I'm a rock and roll Hall of Fame artist, but I'm approachable.
There you go.
Everybody and their grandmother got my phone number. My phone number is 678-557-2919. And I really appreciate you, brother, for taking the time out to make this thing happen. We got to get this information out to our people, because revolution is not an event. It's a process.
It's a process.
I am because we are.
That's right.
Therefore, I am.
Brother, I'm going to tell you something, man. You probably are the only Hall of Famer with your phone number on there. I said, all right, I know this can't be my brother's phone number. I said, I thought it was going to an office or something like that. But I'm like, right. Oh, man, but you know what, man? You're accessible. You're in the community. You're doing great things for our community, man. I commend you, and I really appreciate you spending the time with us today at the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, my brother. Anytime you in Philly, let me know, man. Definitely.
Wait. I'll be in Philly the first weekend in October.
Oh, man.
On the 8th, I'll be speaking at the Locks Conference. And I'm going to be there with a few beautiful people. There's over 200 vendors at the Locks Conference.
Oh, my man. You know what? Definitely. I'm gonna definitely make a point to see if we can connect in person, my brother. And anytime
and do this, and we can do this live.
That's exactly what I was getting ready to say.
All right.
And also, man, anytime you have anything you got coming out for our people or whatever, man, you got my number. Hit me up, brother, and we'll definitely put it out to the people that listen to the show.
All right, give thanks, man.
Okay, brother. I appreciate you.
All right.
Peace.
All right.
Man, I have a ton of takeaways from this interview with Professor Griff. He laid it down for us, family. You know, one of the things that I liked that he highlighted was when I asked him about his speaking engagements, and he said that he was getting turned away by colleges. What I really liked about the answer was he didn't quit. He actually adapted, and he started booking his own shows, booking his own events. So instead of just sitting there taking no for an answer, he found a way to get what he needed to do done. You know, taking action, getting what you need to do done. Whatever it is, you can find a way to get it done. All right. Also, one of the other things that I liked about, he was given the lay of the land when it comes to the music business. So any aspiring artists out there, you need to reach out to Griff
because he has the know-how. He's been there, done that, done it all. So reach out to him. He said he has a couple of courses online and things like that. So if you are an artist or an aspiring artist, you need to talk to somebody that's been there, done that. Hall of Fame recording artist. Also, one of the things that he mentioned was some of the books that he's read. You know, the 12 Laws of Success and 48 Laws of Power, you know, to help him become a better entrepreneur. So Griff has his hands in all types of things. And we here at the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, our family, we always support all the guests on the show. So please go check out his website. It's professorgriff.me. All his information and everything can be found on that site. But you know how we do it, guys. You know, we definitely support our guests on the show. Professor Griff has laid down the blueprint, and it's a source of tremendous information and resources for us, especially, not just as an entrepreneur, but especially if you're in the music business. So please support Professor Griff. Check him out, professorgriff.me. In closing, guys, I got to say it every week. Please continue to spread the word about the show, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, the podcast and the blog, blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com. The shows, they drop. My new episodes on my podcast drop every Monday morning, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And a lot of times they'll be up on the website maybe a day or two in advance. But please spread the word. Our downloads each and every week are more and more and more. And you know, I attribute that all to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint family. Please continue to spread the word. If you need to connect with me directly, it's Jay Jones at Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, JAYJONES at blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com, Facebook, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, Twitter, JJones001, Instagram, JJones for real, JAY, the number 4 REAL. Love you guys. See you same time next week. Peace.